Hello, I am local author Janaka Bowman Lewis, and I am here at Wallace Branch Library for local author Storytime. And this summer's theme is Oceans of Possibilities. And today I am reading my second children's book, Bold Nia Marie Passes the Test, by Janaka Bowman Lewis, and it's illustrated by Cameron T. Wilson, who is also from Augusta. Now, I am a college professor. I'm a college educator. I teach literature at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So I live in Charlotte, North Carolina now, but I am from Augusta and I come back to Augusta often. And so I love being here to read this story today. Bold Nia Marie Passes the Test by Janaka Bowman Lewis, illustrated by Cameron T. Wilson. And I dedicate this book to all of the bold girls and boys in the world, especially Delaney Nia Lewis, who is my daughter, and her big brother, Justice Daniel, who is my son. And thank you to the bold teachers and parents for their support. So if you're near your parents or your teachers, tell them thank you for their support. Nia Marie was bold as could be, much bolder than the rest. But try as she might, it gave her a fright when she had to take a test. Nia Marie was brave as could be. In sports, she had no fear. But when asked to recall the width of the ball, her thinking was not clear. She cried and she bawled when her teachers would call her to come see her grades, because she knew deep down inside mistakes that she had made. She always passed at the back of the class, mostly because she guessed, but her teachers all said, "You won't move ahead if you don't pass the big test." "Well, Nia Marie, you're as smart as can be," her parents and teachers said. "You just have to believe and catch the thoughts inside your head." Well, Nia Marie had another plan every time she learned something new. So she wouldn't forget, she wrote those facts on the side of her running shoe. "I'll twist and I'll turn so I won't have to learn or take my biggest guess. And that's how I'll pass to the front of the class when we take that big test." The test day came near and her mother said, "Dear, I scrubbed that filthy shoe. There was writing in dirt, and with your new skirt, it simply would not do." Look at Nia Marie's face. Nia Marie cried because she had tried to make sure she could get by. So she sat down and wrote her teacher a note that her belly ached from pie. "Well, Nia Marie, I'm as sad as could be, but you have to take this test. So go home and think, have water to drink, and make sure you get some rest." Her plan had failed. Her facts were gone. She just had one more thing to do. Try to remember just what she had written on the side of that lucky shoe. It says, is it A, B, or C? Nia Marie sat and tried not to fret. Pages and pages she filled. It seemed she had learned all her facts and terms. She just had to sit still. She turned in her test. She was feeling her best. She danced a happy dance. So practice was the answer. The shoes weren't her big chance. The message here, if it wasn't clear, is to study like Nia Marie. Don't count on a shoe to give you a clue. Be the best student you can be. Nia Marie learned that when it was her turn on the field or at the desk, that she could catch the answers when she did her very best. You see, she got an A+ on her test. So I have some questions for our students who are listening, and you can think about the answers to these questions wherever you are. First question is, why was bold Nia Marie nervous? What was she nervous about? And you might think it's because she had to take a test. What did her teacher tell her she needed to do? And if you remember, she told her, think and have water to drink and get some rest. So you might have heard those tips before. The next question is, what did her mother do with her shoes? what did her mother do with her shoes? And her mother washed all her answers off of her shoes. Her facts, her answers were on the shoes. And then finally, how did bold Nia Marie pass her big test? How did she pass her big test? So she had water to drink, she thought, and she had her answers when she was writing them down, even on her shoes. She was practicing. So you can practice to know your answers. And so before we end, I have some notes and study skills. And so this is with whatever book you're reading, whether you're a young reader or an older reader. Write down questions about everything you read. And then first ask yourself who the story or what the story is about. Who or what is the story about? Next question, what are the important details about the characters? What does the author want you to know about the people in the book? And why do we need to know those things? So we needed to know that bold Nia Marie was an athlete. She played softball and she was confident on the field, but she was trying to gain some confidence in the classroom. That she had support from her parents and her teachers, like many of you do. That she practiced. So she was practicing when she was writing her answers down, and that she listens to the advice to be confident and do her best, and she did. And so a third question is, are there any words you don't know in the book? And if so, look them up and list the definition. And I have some practice space to do that here. So for example, you might not know what bold means. So that's a word that you can look up. Or you might not know what it gave her a fright, but we can use what's called the context. She was frightened, she was scared when she had to take a test. And then details, so knowing the details, the different pieces of information about the character. So any book that you read, the name of book, and you can write down questions and you can write down words that you don't know and you can look those up, definitions. And so that is the end of Bold Nia Marie Passes the Test. But I want to share some more information. So in addition to being a college teacher, I have a foundation and a virtual center called the Vanilla Bowman Center for Educational Impact. And we have a physical location down in Thompson, Georgia, where we do our planning and everything. But we have scholarships for students going to college, and we also have funds for younger students, K through 12 students who might want to buy books or might want to go on a special field trip. And so you can go to vanillabowmancenter.com. That's VANILLABOWMANCENTER.com to see what events and what opportunities we have going on. And we have a special scholar celebration for those who have won scholarships, but also just to celebrate everybody's end of the year virtually. And we'll have a keynote by Dr. Matt Bowman of the Horizon Foundation and also of Piedmont Hospital here in Augusta on Sunday, July 10th at 4:00 p.m. And that will be virtual. And all of the details are on the vanillabowmancenter.com. And I just want to encourage you all to keep reading, keep coming to your local libraries, and enjoy the summer, the oceans of possibilities here at Wallace Branch Library.